Hello and welcome back to Speed Typing. In this video, we're going to be going through all the most popular typing websites that are currently still active and ranking them on a tier list. Now, I'm sure many of you guys have heard of what a tier list is. Basically, you take a bunch of different items that revolve around a certain theme and you rank them based on how good you think they fit that specific purpose. So basically, we're going to be going through all these websites that I have listed down here using their logos, and I'm going to be showing you guys what websites I think are both subjectively, in my opinion, also objectively, the best websites to practice on, and I think that, it's just going to be a fun video idea for us to try out. So first of all, for this tier list, I want to establish some websites that I think will fit well inside certain categories, and we can kind of decide the other websites based on these websites. So I want to start off with 10 Fast Fingers. Now, 10 Fast Fingers is probably like one of the most OG old typing websites, and lots of typists used to play on the website and still do use the website. However, I think overall with like ads and also it just being like the user interface not being the best on the website, like it does have like different languages that you can practice, which means that it's not going to be in the lower end of this list. But overall, I just don't think that it really, is exceeding as a typing website. So I'm going to put it, at least for now, just as a B tier, so we can establish what, like your average typing website is going to be for this video. Now, if we go down to our C tier, I think that we're going to, what we'll go with right now is TypeRx. Because I think that overall TypeRx became popular simply because of the Ultimate Typing Championships. Now, obviously, it was developed so that like we could compete in the Ultimate Typing Championships using the website, which I don't think was all too necessary. I think it would have been much better for the UTC just to use an already existing typing website. However, they wanted to develop their own. And I think that's the only reason that this website was kind of popular, because the Ultimate Typing Championships was played on this website. I think overall the user interface is bad. There were multiple problems with the chat glitching out and stuff. So we're going to establish it. Like, it's not the worst website overall. Like, I still think that you can get some benefit out of it, but it's not, above average. I think it's a below average typing website. So we're going to put it as C tier. And I think it's going to stay there. Now for A tier, I think the website that we're going to put in A tier is, I think we're going to go with Keymash, just for now at least, because I think that Keymash is, I don't think it's an S tier website. Like, it's not, exceedingly, like mind blown typing website, but I think that overall it's a really, really well developed typing website. They had this tournament that was hosted a while ago, which I competed in, and I think that was really, really well run. They also have recently released ranked matchmaking on the website, which is basically where if you're around a similar speed to someone else, you're going to be placed against in a match with them, and they have a leaderboard based on like your win-loss ratio and your words printed and all that stuff, which is really interesting. I think is something that's, definitely should be experimented around with in the typing community. So I think that Keymash is a very solid A tier. The developer, Cameron, is really dedicated to the website. Definitely deserves a spot. It's definitely above average website. Now if we go down to the D tier, and this website is not going to be moving out of the D tier, we're going to put Polytype in there. And I didn't really want to cover this website at first, but I thought, I may as well. It might be the only website that I think deserves a D tier position. But Polytype was basically kind of a bit of a scam of a website. I'm not going to get too into detail about it, but the developer, kind of stole some code and overall just ended up ditching the website after like hyping it up a lot. I think that overall the UI is just like really, really recycled, and the word sprint counter isn't even accurate. So it's a definite D tier. It's not going to be moving out of there. I think I just kind of needed to include it to establish, what an actual like D tier website is going to be. Now I think moving on to another typing website, let's talk about ditchqwerty.com. Now ditchqwerty is, I think it's overall really simplistic, which makes it really, really good for learning a new layout other than QWERTY, which is, obvious from the website title, Ditch QWERTY. And you can learn layouts like Dvorak and Colmac on the website. And I think that overall, like, you can start at a very basic level, just learning a few keys, and then overall you can kind of progress, right? I think overall, though, they lack, kind of a bit of a multiplayer idea with the website, like you're just going on it for single-player uses. And overall, it just lacks a bit of that expansion that I think like an A tier, S tier typing website would have. But I think overall, it's decent for learning layout. So I think for now we're going to put it in B tier, just because, it's decent, you can learn a layout on it, but it doesn't, provide any extra things beyond that would make it an A tier or an S tier website. Now, if we move on, let's go to typerush.com. Now, typerush.com is, it's one of those websites that kind of is, a ripoff of NitroType, And so is Typerex to an extent, because they're both, you know, kind of ripping off a typing website with racing cars and all that stuff. And I think that overall, just the UI is bad. The actual typing test is pretty bad on the website. Like, I don't think the word sprint is accurate, or the accuracy is accurate at all. And I don't think that very many people end up actually using this website. Maybe just some kids. So overall, I think that if you want to seriously practice typing, don't go on TypeRush. We're going to put it as a D-tier website for now. I know I said that Polytype would probably be the only D-tier website, but I do think that TypeRex is like substantially better than TypeRush, even though both websites, I think, you know, below average and considerably bad. Now, if we move on to another typing website, let's talk about typings.gg. Typings.gg is like really simplistic, and there's a lot of keyword builders. I've seen, like, for example, Jinte, who I watch a bit, who use, I think he uses monkey-type for the most part now, but who use typings.gg. It's a really simplistic layout, and it reminds you of monkey-type, right? And that's because the developer, or the theme developer for typings, Myodec, is the same person who developed monkey-type. Myodec didn't code the actual typing test for typings, but I think he did the themes, is my understanding, which is why it seems kind of similar to monkey-type. But it's a very, very basic website. It doesn't teach you any technique or anything. It just gives you, I believe, a 10-word test, a 25-word test, 50-word test, a 100-word test, and a 250-word test, and some basic themes. I don't think it excels at all as a typing website, you know, just basic random words tests. So it's definitely not an A website. I think we're going to put it as a B tier website for now, in the middle. I don't think it's A. At anything, it might go down to a C for now, but we'll put it in B. If we move on to another website, the Typing Match, which is developed by Lisa H., who is active in the nitro community, and who also hosts the Typing Tournament, which is a competitive typing tournament where lots of fast typists enter. I think it's a decent website. My biggest problem is that it's unconventional how you complete the test. Like, the text is moving across the screen as opposed to your cursor moving along the text, if you know what I mean. So I think that the Typing Match could definitely use some work in terms of the user interface, though I think that, you know, the developer has chosen how he wants the user interface to act, and I think that, you know, he's kind of owned that user interface. Like, it's really unique. Though I think that overall it just lacks some kind of, you know, something that makes the website stand out. I think overall we're going to put it as a C tier typing website for now. I know it's in its development, and I'm sure that when he releases more features, that's going to probably, you know, be a B tier, maybe even an A tier at the very, very most. But for now, I think it's overall a C tier website. If we move on next to typing.com, typing.com is a website kind of like Ditch QWERTY, but the opposite, because it teaches you QWERTY. It teaches you proper typing technique. Now, typing.com, I think, is, like, I used it to learn my typing technique. I think it's one of the most popular typing websites out there to learn proper typing technique. I think that its curriculum is really, really solid. Yeah, I think overall, like, it's not something that once you've learned the technique, you're going to stay on the website. Like, you should definitely move to a different website, and for that reason, I don't think that it's going to be anywhere like an A or S tier. I think for now, we're going to put typing.com at a B tier, because it has curriculum that is really, really solid, and it's stood on top for typing websites where you learn technique for a very long time. Now, while we're in the theme of typing websites that learn technique, let's go to Typing Club. Now, Typing Club is, again, kind of like typing.com. The curriculum, in my opinion, is very, very similar on Typing Club. You can skip ahead to different parts to, like, kind of match where your typing technique is currently at. So I think for that reason, and because I think that the two websites are very similar and serve kind of the same purpose, we're going to put it as a B tier as well. Now, if we move on to typeracer.com, this is the most popular typing website by far. Now, it isn't the oldest typing website, if I remember correctly. However, it is quite old. I think it was created in like 2009 or maybe 2011. So it is an old typing website, and it's still very popular today. You know, if you're a Twitch streamer and you want to practice and you want to like race against your friends, or if you're like doing a YouTube video and you want to like go on a website, then most people are going to choose Typeracer over any other website. And so for that reason, I want to put Typeracer as the first S tier website. Now, there might be a few of you who are wondering, why are you putting it as S tier? Like, the user interface is really, really bad. And I agree to an extent that the user interface on Typeracer is kind of bad compared to some other typing websites. However, I think that overall, because it has maintained such a high popularity in the typing community and beyond for such a long time, and I think that because it, you know, has tons of unique quotes, the most quotes than any other website, I think that overall, like, the user interface with cars and stuff and having to backspace overall makes it a really, really good typing website. And I don't think that putting it as A tier on the same level as Keymash would give Type Racer justice. And so it's going to be your first S-tier typing website. Now, if we move on to shorturl.at, this website it's a pretty decent website. It was developed by one of the best developers in the business, and basically I would definitely recommend it if you want to go and practice typing. It's kind of similar to Monkey Type with a 60-second test. Overall, we're going to put Street Fighter Type at a B tier for typing websites. Now, if we move on to Keeper, Keeper.com. Keeper.com is a very popular typing website for learning technique, and I would say that it is, I think it's more popular than typing.com and Typing Club, just because lots of YouTubers have recommended it. Whenever they're recommending that you learn technique, they're going to recommend to you Keeper as a website. However, I do think that Keeper is overrated, but I think that overall their curriculum is really, really well engineered. It has some kind of smart, intelligent technology that can, it's not intelligent technology, but it will give you letters to practice that are your most difficult letters that it finds whenever you're going through different random texts that they'll give you. So in that way, I think that it was really well developed, and that it will help you strengthen your weaknesses so that you can type better if you're having any trouble with certain letters or letter combinations or whatever. So in that way, I think that it's a pretty decent typing website. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put it. I think that overall, see, if I want to put it as an A tier website, then I kind of feel that 10 Fast Fingers deserves to be an A tier website as well. So I think let's do this, because I do think that 10 Fast Fingers is better than Ditchqwerty and typings.gg and typing.com. And I do think because it has the other languages aspect, I think that with the level websites we're going for right now, I think that Keeper is better than typing.com and Typing Club. So I'm gonna put Keeper and 10 Fast Fingers both as A tier typing websites. Now if we move on, let's do Typing Nation next. I'm already putting this as an A tier typing website. I've already gone into this website a bit on stream and stuff, but overall I think that it's really well developed. I love the smooth caret. I think that overall the user interface is really, really nice when you get into the test. However, I think that overall the website is kind of complicated and doesn't really look like a typing website at first, so that can definitely be worked on. But overall, I think that Typing Nation is a solid website. We're going to put it as an A tier website. Now, if we move on to typetest.io, Typetest is kind of a bit of a copy of 10 Fast Fingers, I would say. But I think that it's not necessarily a ripoff. I think it does a really, really good job of having encapsulating the 10 Fast Fingers 60-second test, but also doing making it simplistic at the same time. It has the same kind of card that will show you your typing result as 10 Fast Fingers. But overall, I would say it's basically on the same level. I'm almost going to put it as an S tier website just because I love the user interface so much. That would kind of stray towards my subjectivity. So, trying to maintain objectivity on this tier list, we're going to put it as an A tier website. Now, we have two typing websites left. We have Monkey Type and we have Nitro Type. Monkey Type came out this spring and is by far the most popular typing website to come out this year. There's so many Twitch streamers that will use it, and just overall people in the typing community and beyond who have used this website. I'm going to put it as an S tier. I don't think that many people are going to be arguing with this. I just think that overall, it was really unique to come out with a simplistic typing test, so many settings that you can customize the website with, and for that, all those reasons, I'm not going to get, I've already made so many videos just praising Monkey Type as a website. I don't think I need to elaborate on this much. It's definitely an S tier website. Now, our last typing website is Nitro Type. I've spent the most amount of time on Nitro Type. For many of you guys, if you don't know about this, I've done 23,000 races on Nitro Type, so I've spent a lot of time on it, especially when I was younger. I think that I'm going to put it, I think, it's decent. It's being updated a lot more nowadays, and I think that, it's lived through what a lot of other typing websites have kind of died down. It's either A tier or a B tier typing website. I'm not really sure, because I do feel that Nitro Type is above typings.gg just because of all the work that's been put into it. But I don't think at the same time it's the same level as a website like Keymash, maybe. I think I'm going to put Keymash as an S tier, just because I don't feel that NitroType and Keymash can really fit in the same category, and I think that Keymash is really close to being an S tier website, so it should be there anyways. There's no other typing website on this list that would come close to being an S tier typing website besides Keymash, and then I think I can feel comfortable putting NitroType as an A tier typing website. So to summarize, we have TypeRacer, MonkeyType, and Keymash as S tier typing websites. Go to these websites and practice on them a lot, more than any other typing websites on this list. For our A tier typing websites, we have Keybur, 10 Fast Fingers, Typination, TypeTest.io, and NitroType. Use some of these. If you really like one of these websites, then I would recommend that you use it. If it's like one of your favorite websites, because it's not too different in terms of the actual mechanics of the website from an S tier typing website. On the B tier, these are kind of more specific typing websites. TypingGG is just your simplistic test, Typing.com and Typing Club, and Ditchcordy are just teaching technique, and shorturl.at is like quite underdeveloped. So they're all B tiers. So I definitely recommend like Typing.gg is probably like really, if you want just a simplistic test, I would probably prioritize it over MonkeyType, because MonkeyType can get really complicated. And of course, if you want to learn technique or learn a new layout, then use Ditchcordy or Typing.com and Typing Club. For these C tier typing websites and D tier typing websites, I would recommend that you probably don't use them at the moment. Typing Match is probably the only exception out of these. I think I'm only putting in this rank just because it's a lot more underdeveloped than a lot of websites here. Street Fighter Type it's definitely higher than the Typing Match. And like overall, just don't use TypeRush and Polytype and TypeRx as typing websites to practice on. They're kind of just memes at this point in the typing community. So overall, that's my typing tier list. If you want to try this out yourself, then I think I can post a link to this so that you can maybe create your own video ranking these typing websites if you're interested in doing that, or just trying it out for yourself. I hope that you guys enjoyed this typing video. If you did, make sure that you leave a like down below for the algorithm. It really helps me out a ton, and I truly do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Type on and type faster.